Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how the game is going to be going from this perspective, because last time we saw Shoichi play, we could only see from David Hendrickson's side. So it's going to be nice to see, like, if those Inteleons are actually prized or what was going on with the game. I mean, and
Yeah.
considering we just saw the Shadow Riders perspective for last game, makes it a little bit refreshing for the chat here, too. And
Hmm.
should be cool.
Yeah. And we do see the we do see the Sobble start here up against the Shadow Rider. Um, so I wonder how this will go for yellow here. I think, yeah, the big thing is we know the Jirachi's in the deck, and I'm pretty sure that's going to come down maybe right away. Even though there are the double Path the Peak in the deck, we'll see if Yellow's ever able to find them at the right moment. And yeah, Yellow's got a very good start. Double Shadow Rider, really good. You definitely want to get those Shadow Riders down as soon as possible. Triple Shadow Rider even. Yeah, it just means you have the opportunity to do a triple Underworld Thor next turn. So yeah, very good start for Yellow. And we'll see what Saeto's able to do here to kind of combat this. Or Soichi, yeah, Soichi. We'll see what Soichi's able to do to combat this. Um, maybe see a Keep Calling, maybe see a yeah, it's probably just gonna be Keep Calling, I feel like, you know. Oh, but only one Sobble left in the deck. Two Sobble are prized for Suchi. That is not ideal.
All
There's
right, I
the
found Diamond
Urshi.
King's name. It is Shang. So we got Shang versus Shoichi. The Battle of the S's.
Yeah,
All right. Also,
exactly.
those alternate art Shadow Rider Calyrex V are beautiful. I know that you like bling your
Hmm.
decks out, right, LDF?
Yeah, I'm a bling guy. The Shadow Riders have been very hard. The alt art Shadow Rider is very, very expensive. Um, yeah, then we see the Keep Calling, gets the Sobble, gets the Urshifu, gets the Passimian, because why not? Um, and Asuchi does have the Dedenne in hand to, get a new hand next turn. Sobble will most likely fall here, to probably the Shadow Rider. I mean, maybe we could see Yellow maybe try to, like, Horror House or something. Gegger Mimikyu is a good attacker in this matchup at the end of the day. I mean, resistance to fighting, one shot, still can one shot Urshifu if you're lucky, so pretty much every attacker in Yellow's deck can just destroy the bears here, the Alchemy, the Gengar, and the Shadow Riders.
Yeah, the one thing that I do like about Sobble in this deck is that it can actually grab out other Pokemon. Comparatively to what we just saw in the last game with the Ice Rider Calyrex matchup, where it could only grab out its own Sobbles. Being very versatile as a card in different decks, and as we can see, we have seen a lot of these Inteleon base decks in the top cut. Every deck except Spiritomb and the
Mm-hmm.
Shadow Rider decks were these Inteleon based decks, so really taking a large kind of portion of the metagame and seeing success. It's also very good in our post rotation format. So if it's cards that you don't have now, you probably do want to start picking them up on PTCGO and real life.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna see. I mean, I think this is a great start for Shang. Just getting everything set up. We're gonna see a quick knockout maybe on the Sobble. I don't think it's worthwhile to attack into an Urshifu V if you're not taking the knockouts. And there's another Shadow Rider.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. It's a lot of Shadow Riders out here.
Already, yeah. Very,
Sometimes you just
very
play
good
games and you
setup.
can't ever find them, and this seems like a game where,
Mm-hmm.
like, Shen can only draw into those.
Exactly, yeah. Very good start. Yeah, definitely what you want to see. I wonder if we'll see anything else here from Yellow. Yeah, just the max guys kill the Sobble. One less Drizzile out could make a difference.
Yep. So there's Sobble. There's prize card number one. So I think similarly to what we were seeing in other games, we're going to be going for a 1, 2, 3 prize card structure here, knocking out a VMAX and then knocking out something like a Dedenne GX
Mm-hmm.
or maybe even that Jirachi GX, something like
Yep.
that. Um, not trying to draw another single prize card or not trying to knock out two Urshifu VMAXs. But whatever happens, happens. I think they're getting set up pretty nice.
Yeah, exactly. And there's the Dedenne coming down. There's the Urshifu. We have, yeah, does have level ball with Calm. That technically gets the Jirachi. Definitely what you have to get down this turn is to Jirachi so you don't get KO'd as easily. Make Yellow find that Path of the Peak, which is, how many was that? 2 Path of the Peak in Diamond King's deck. So we'll see if Diamond King finds the Path of the Peak here. There's the Marnie, and Okay. Not bad. I think we're just gonna see the swing here into the Shadow Rider, and then I guess just hope Diamond King doesn't get path. I mean, Diamond King can still put on the pressure by just swinging into the Urshifu. I guess the one thing is Shadow Rider does have fighting resistance, I'm pretty sure, so Urshifu only does like 120, which is barely any damage. Even with Inteleon, it's not a lot, so...
Yeah, it's
I
one of
wonder
those things in
what
the
the play
matchup where,
is.
like, I think the matchup's really unfavored if the Shadow Rider player does not put down Gengar Mimikyu.
Yeah.
That's really where you want to just be sniping. You want to be getting off those G-Max Rapid Flows over and over again, especially with the Karate Belts, and just trying to knock out 2-3 prize card Pokemons. So I think that's really where the matchup's going to come down to. Shang seems like they're well-versed in this matchup. I'm pretty confident in going with a solid strategy of just Shadow Rider Vs, and especially the resistance is going to add up.
Yeah. Actually, the interesting is Suchi had no play there, just passing Passimian, so I think we might see Diamond King dig for a boss's order and just gus that Urshifu up, and then just one boss away from winning the game on like the Dene or something. So this could be a very quick game here for Diamond King if Diamond King is able to KO an Urshifu VMAX this turn. We see a switch. I wonder, is Diamond King trying to eye up that Gengar Mimikyu play? Did grab the Gengar Mimikyu?
I think it's just going to get pitched out of the deck. I think it's just trying to thin. Some excellent play.
Yeah.
It should also be noticed that Shang also won the Chill TCG event this week.
Yeah.
The huge 800-plus player. Everyone got a free Dragapult event. So they're no stranger to competitive success here. And maybe they'll go for the two-peats. Playing a very similar list to what we've already seen.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I think... So, looks like no boss orders there because we already saw the professor's research. But that does give Shoichi kind of an extra turn. I know they kind of paused their turn for a little bit, not necessarily getting the greatest hand, but that kind of gives them a little bit of a breathing room where now they still at least have 2 more turns. That wasn't a knockout on a Dedenne. That wasn't a knockout on a Rapid Strike Urshifu. Could be huge.
That was a very good turn. Yeah, very good turn for Suchi. Bit of breathing room there, for sure. Bit of breathing room. And there is the Jirachi 2 in Sushi's hand. Being able to get that down is going to be very important. Even though Diamond King has amassed a ton of energy, Jirachi might not be as relevant because once a lot of energy come down, I mean, at that point, you don't even need Jirachi. You could just one-hit KO. And I'm actually interested to see if Diamond King wants to ever use Alchemy VMAX in the matchup as a way to, like, take a big one-hit KO if you want to go down that route. But, I mean, Suchi still kind of has a bit of a way to go. The problem with Suchi is Suchi is only doing, like, very little damage to these Shadow Rider. Shadow Rider is, again, very bulky. Fighting resistance plus 320 HP is, like, that's, like, 350 HP in total. And that is not good. Even with, like, Rapid Flow Passimian combos, which doesn't apply resistance, it could still be rough. But yeah, we see the Rapid Flow gonna hit Shadow Rider V and Shadow Rider V Max. Not gonna hit the active, it looks like.
Yeah, if I'm Shang here, I'm definitely not evolving the one that got hit with damage. And basically nullifying all that damage that got done, forcing Shoichi to be knocking out other Pokemon. Now, I'm pretty sure Shoichi is a little bit far out of this game in order to win this game. I would be surprised to see Shoichi just be able to come back. So maybe they're just like fishing here and hoping that Shang gets a little bit greedy and evolves, which you've totally seen players make a little bit of a tough judgment call in these games sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, maybe what Suchi could have done. Suchi does have Karate Belt. I mean, Suchi can maybe just go like Rapid Flow, Rapid Flow, Rapid Flow, keep hitting 150 damage, and then maybe try to set up an Inteleon play where you can go like Inteleon, quick shooting, knockout. I mean, that could be a play. Maybe Suchi's just trying to take advantage of having this Karate Belt activated. But I mean, once Diamond King finds, like, you know, a boss or Path to Peak, the game's probably just going to be over. Sushi is a little bit too far behind here to really get much going. But we'll see what happens. I think taking advantage of the Karate Belt here is definitely a smart play from Suchi. It's definitely good to try to take advantage of that Karate Belt and spam Rapid Flow on the bench because the bench doesn't apply resistance, so you're still able to put a decent chunk of damage on them.
Yeah, I think right now, and we're not seeing that Pokemon evolve. I think Shang's definitely playing around this.
Yeah, I think definitely playing around it for sure. Oh, there's Path to Peak. Yeah.
Okay, we're seeing a concession. So Shang's gonna win game 1.
And yeah, we're gonna see Suchi here going first. And let's see what Suchi's able to do. Starts with the Bassimian. Does have a few basics, so not the worst hand ever. Has Urshifu, has Rapshark Energy, gets a Sobble. We'll see what happens. But again, the Shadow Rider deck definitely can just be very tough for you. And honestly, even if you're Diamond King, I don't even know if you ever want to put Gengar Mimikyu in play, because thinking about it, your opponent can go like Gale Thrust into a Rapid Flow knockout from the bench with a Bassimian, and that makes it a bit easier to KO you. I think honestly the best play for Diamond King is just put a bunch of Shadow Riders in play. They're very tanky, and just don't bother with the Gengar Mimikyu because it can get KO'd in, quick succession by Rapid Flow Gale Thrust, so that's maybe one thing we see. We actually just see the Sobble pass here. Not even going to Dedenne. Or grab an Urshifu, just going to get Sobble. We're probably going to try to see a Keep Calling here. Unless Diamond King does want a Horror House, we aren't going to see the Sobble get a Keep Calling.
Exactly. I mean, at this point, it might almost be a good idea to go Horror House path.
Exactly.
That'd be a wild prediction play. So it's one of those things that could happen, though. The cards are in Shang's deck list.
Exactly.
So let's, I think Shang, I mean, playing the Horror House GX down, at least this game, with it being a favorable matchup, let's, I think it's worthwhile to put the Gengar Mimikyu here. Especially starting Sobble, especially seeing the Bassimian. This hand does not scream like it's very good.
Yeah, definitely not the greatest for sure. I'm pretty sure Suchi does have the Dedenne, though. So I guess that's an option. Probably going to see a Keep Calling, too. And, I mean, last game I think Suchi prized 2 Sobbles, so maybe this time Suchi has a bit more luck and doesn't end up prizing at the double Sobble.
For sure. And I think we're just more or less waiting to see what Shang grabs. All the options are there. So many things are just like... It's really up to Shang here. It's really like a create your own story kind of game. And I think Shang's just like really deciding where they want to go. And wow, that's 3 Shadow Rider Vs down.
Yeah, once again, a very strong start for, Shang here. Yeah, getting all those Shadow Riders down is very, very good. Again, I think the best thing you could do in a matchup against Urshifu is just put Shadow Riders in play. And I think we see Diamond King recognize that. There is just Keep Calling, though. Oh, is there no Dedenne in the deck? I don't think there is, actually. So I guess Suchi.
There's a Dedenne in the deck list, so if it's not in the deck, it's definitely in the prize cards. And that's certainly going to hurt Shoichi's chances of winning this game. I think...
Shoichi needs... Yeah, that puts you on the back foot even more if you weren't already on it,
Exactly. I mean, there are a lot of cards that Shoichi could top deck, including Level Ball to search out any of those Drizziles that can grab a supporter, any supporter naturally. Even an Evolution Incense or Pokemon Communication could be huge.
Yeah, getting the Drizzile is going to be very crucial for Suchi. And, I mean, if not, you're going to fall behind. Actually, we see a Path of Peak get discarded for Diamond King. That's a very big discard here because that is one of the most important cards in this matchup. So that could be a big deal, especially if Diamond King maybe prizes the second one. We might actually, what we could see is maybe even just the first attack. Yeah, this Shadow Mist will shut off Rapid Strike Energy, which is kind of cool. Ooh, Escape Rope too. Yeah, that kind of... Yeah, that Rope top deck too makes that play even more punching. We just have to see how Keep Calling. Suchi has to thin the deck out. Yeah, just keep thinning and pray.
And we're not even seeing anything get evolved into either. I actually almost don't like putting down another Sobble there. I know it does thin something out of the deck, but I think it's almost more worthwhile to just like leave a spot open for that Jirachi GX.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because right now both those Urshifus are complete snacks for the Shadow Rider. And I think if you get like... I don't want to spell out this match now, but if you give Shadow Rider too many turns to really do anything, you usually lose unless you're playing a dark deck.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably what might happen here. We'll see if Diamond King goes for a KO this turn with either like a boss or knocks out the Sobble. I'm not sure knocked out the Sobble, it's not really a terrible thing. Sobble's kind of done its job at this point, sets up your bench, so KOing the Sobble is not that big of a deal. It lets you maybe go KO Sobble, KO Urshifu, KO Dedenne or something, but we'll see what Diamond King eyes up here. What will the play be?
Yeah, I think it's really, again, it's going to come down to a lot of what Shang's looking into. I really think, like, this game looks like it might even be a good idea to start using Astral Barrage if that's ever an option.
Yeah, at this point, it might have to be a play, for sure.
Setting up, knocking out multiple Sobbles in a turn might be cool. Even stopping
Mm-hmm.
things with the first attack there with the Shadow Rider. Using Shadow
Yeah.
Mist, just slowing things down can certainly be huge, but we'll see. They evolved into the active. If that Underworld door is going to come out, maybe we're going to see just a normal knockout on this Sobble? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. It might have to be the play here. There's the retreat. Yeah, I think we're just gonna see the knockout here on the active potentially. Yeah, just a knock on the active. Suchi still in top deck mode. Suchi now can attack the Shadow Rider and get the Jirachi with the quick ball. So there is that to buy an extra turn technically, but we'll see what Suchi draws.
Ooh, there's
There
a
we go.
Drizzile. That's certainly a top deck that we're looking for. I actually
Yeah.
don't necessarily like Shang's play. I think it was a little bit greedy to hard retreat.
Mm-hmm.
Especially considering there was really nothing going on Shoichi's side. Might have been a
Yeah.
little bit better to just like leave the Astral Barrage up active or go for another Shadow Mist, which would definitely prevent that Rapid Strike energy from getting attached.
Yeah, because then it'd be harder for Suchi to even get an attack off. Because Suchi did draw the Drizzile, which would have happened no matter what. But yeah, that Shadow Mist could have bought Diamond King maybe a couple more turns here to just kind of build things up.
Exactly. And considering that there's only 3 basic fighting energies in the deck, and one was already attached to a Sobble to use Keep Calling,
Yeah.
it seems it's a little bit spooky, but maybe we're going to see a path play that's just going to blow this Rapid Strike Urshifu out of the water.
Yeah, and if that happens, then it might just be one boss off from the win. Now, again, Diamond King did discard that path earlier. We did see that off the Dead Ace change, so that path might still be a little hard to find here for Diamond King, potentially.
I mean, it's only 1 out of 27 cards if it's in the deck. I mean, it can't be that hard, right? Like,
Exactly. Plus, you got Underworld Door. Yeah, it can't be that hard. I mean, even just putting pressure on the Urshifu by just swinging into it with max dice is still really good. Suchi, once again, no healing cards, no Cheryl in the deck whatsoever. So once the Urshifu takes damage, it's not coming off. And we see the focus for an energy here, building up the energy. And I wonder if Diamond King wants to take this Shadow Rider to the bench because it has damage on it. It's not really a great play, I feel like, because then you walk into a potential 150 damage rapid flow, which puts more damage on you than if you were in the active. Plus, you have the Inteleon to deal with, so maybe just stay in the active, knowing that it can take a hit or two isn't that bad. Or retreating it is good too, I guess. I mean, both plays seem fine. We'll see, though, what happens. I think the big thing is maybe find that path, or even just boss killing the Jirachi, too. It's like, at that point, I don't think there's a Rod here. Yeah, no, oh no, there is a Rod. Never mind, I did not see that. There actually is a Rod in Suchi's list. Okay. Suchi has a Rod, which means, yeah, the Jirachi can come back at some point. Never mind. That's actually a very big deal. I did not think there was a Rod in the deck at all.
it could be huge. Like, I agree with you. It depends on what's going on with Jirachi.
Yep.
Stellar Wish seems to be very intrigued that we're all Canadian up in here. Word represents.
There it is. There's the
Boom,
path.
the path is going to take... That's 3 prize cards. And then that's just
And
going to
that
put the Jirachi
should be
down in
checkmate.
that boss mode.
Yeah.
Because there's only 2 prize cards left there.
Yeah, now it's literally should be checkmate as long as Suchi has to try to disrupt Diamond's hand here and hope that Diamond doesn't get anything going. Diamond also still has to, well, the path to peak could be big. I mean, the path does shut off Diamond's own Underworld Door, and there's no Dene left, so Stamp could be big here. I think that's what we're gonna see. Yeah, Stamp to 2. Keep the path in play. You don't have Underworld Door, so it's up to Yellow to draw something. But if the path sticks, then you lose your Urshifu a bit easier. It's really tough, I think, for Suchi to really come back, even with a Stamp to 2 path in play, just because the Jirachi's shut off, and you still can't use Urshifu technically, so could be really tough here for Suchi to really get anything going. Yeah, it's just a really rough matchup for the Urshifu deck. It just struggles a lot against the Shadow Rider.
Yeah, it's really like the weakness. Like weakness is tough. Having Jirachi to shut off the weakness, but having a tech for the tech really makes it difficult. Although we are seeing the Tower of Waters come out, and that is both Path to the Peaks now that are in the discard pile. So there's no way to shut off that Jirachi. I know we're not necessarily looking at the Rapid Strike Urshifu, but if there's no boss in Shang's hands, it is one of those things where it should be noted.
Yeah, if Shang. If potential, that looked well played. I think that's just game then. So I think we might have just seen the stamp into the boss, which is unfortunate. That's game. Yep, there we go.
See, I wouldn't
Stamp
even.
the boss.
I think players get a little bit too close with this
Yeah.
seats. I always get so scared in case someone does anything.
Yeah.